Your heart speaks before it fails. Watch for these 9 silent warning signs and learn the 3 clues that show your heart is truly healthy. Welcome to Fresh Fuel Guide. Sometimes, the body speaks, but we don't hear it in time. Emma once thought her fatigue was just overwork, her insomnia just stress, until one morning, she walked up a flight of stairs and felt unusually out of breath. No chest pain, no fainting, but something wasn't right. The heart, our tireless engine, doesn't always cry out with sharp chest pain. Sometimes, it whispers through a restless night's sleep, a lingering cough, or even chronic gum inflammation. In today's video, join Emma as we explore 9 subtle signs your heart may be trying to warn you, and how to recognize them early. Take preventative steps, and protect your heart daily. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss a single signal your body might be sending, with Fresh Fuel Guide. Number 1. Calf pain or swelling. A silent signal from the circulatory system. Every morning, Emma walks around the park near her home. Lately, however, she has started feeling a sharp pain in her left calf after walking just a few hundred meters. She assumed it was from being inactive. Strangely, though, the pain would disappear after just a few minutes of rest, only to return every time she walked. Many people think calf pain is just muscle fatigue, but when pain appears regularly during physical activity and disappears with rest, it could be a classic sign of peripheral artery disease, PAD. In this condition, fatty plaque builds up and narrows arteries, reducing blood flow to the legs. When muscles don't get enough blood, symptoms may include cramping or pain in the calves while walking, cold feet, numbness, or pale skin, slow healing wounds or persistent sores on the legs. According to the American Heart Association, PAD can double your risk of heart attack and stroke if not treated in time. Emma visited her doctor, took an ankle brachial index (ABI) test, and started making changes. She quit smoking, improved her diet, and began walking daily, a simple habit she once thought was too minor to matter. But sometimes, a slight pain today is a whisper from your heart, asking you to pay attention before it has to scream. Listening to your steps may be the very thing that keeps your heart beating strong. Number 2. Bleeding gums, an unexpected signal from the heart. After brushing her teeth that morning, Emma noticed a streak of blood in the sink. Just a slight trace, no pain, no soreness. She assumed she'd brushed too hard, but the bleeding continued day after day. Like many, Emma thought bleeding gums were no big deal, maybe a poor brushing technique or a too firm toothbrush. But the truth is far more serious. Gum inflammation can threaten not just your teeth but also your heart. When the gums are inflamed, harmful bacteria can enter the bloodstream, triggering a systemic inflammatory response, especially within blood vessels. Studies show this can increase the risk of atherosclerotic plaque formation, which may lead to stroke or heart attack. In some cases, oral bacteria can even cause endocarditis, an infection of the heart's inner lining or valves. Poor oral hygiene, unremoved plaque, vitamin C or K deficiencies, hormonal changes, diabetes, or blood thinners are common causes. Emma took action. She switched to a softer toothbrush, began using dental floss regularly, and scheduled a dental checkup. She also boosted her vitamin C intake with fresh fruits, stayed hydrated, and, most importantly, stopped brushing it off as nothing. Sometimes, a little blood in the sink is your heart's quiet way of asking for attention. Listen to it before it's forced to speak louder. Number 3. Snoring or sleep apnea, when your sleep sends a warning to the heart. Emma often wondered why she always woke up feeling like she hadn't slept. Even with 7 hours of rest, she would rise with heavy eyes, a dry throat, and a dull headache. Her partner began noticing something alarming. There were nights when Emma would stop breathing for several seconds, then gasp for air as if startled awake. Snoring used to be dismissed as harmless noise, but for Emma, Things became concerning when these nights started repeating. She began researching and discovered that it wasn't just snoring, it could be obstructive sleep apnea, OSA. A disorder that silently puts the heart under stress every night. She had no idea that soft tissue in the throat can collapse and block airflow during sleep, especially in those who are overweight or consume alcohol before bed. A slightly receded jaw, enlarged tonsils, or even a naturally large tongue can be enough to obstruct the airway. Each apnea episode causes a drop in oxygen levels, spikes in blood pressure, and irregular heart rhythms. Over time, this doesn't just cause fatigue, it significantly raises the risk of stroke, heart failure, or even sudden cardiac arrest during sleep. Emma made fundamental changes. She improved her dinner routine, reduced her alcohol intake, practiced breathing exercises, and began using a CPAP machine, continuous positive airway pressure. She woke up with a steady heartbeat and a clear mind for the first time in years. Sometimes, the heart doesn't knock loudly, it whispers through a breathless night. Are you listening? Number 4. Extreme weakness, a dangerous warning sign. One morning, Emma got out of bed feeling as if all her energy had been drained. No fever, no pain, yet after just a few steps to the kitchen, she had to sit down. Her body felt limp, like it had shut down without warning. She wasn't sick, but her body was acting like it had just survived a complete collapse. Not all fatigue is normal. Sometimes, sudden, unexplained exhaustion is your body's way of signaling that your cardiovascular system is struggling, that the heart may no longer be delivering enough oxygen and nutrients to keep your body going. Emma began to ask herself, is my heart starting to give out? When the heart weakens, every organ feels it. That drained sensation may stem from arrhythmia, a sudden drop in blood pressure, or even be an early sign of a heart attack. For some, the cause lies deeper: hormonal imbalances, iron deficiency, dehydration, or chronic stress, which can deplete dopamine and disrupt the body's energy metabolism. If extreme weakness is accompanied by chest tightness, rapid heartbeat, dizziness, or fainting, it's no longer a mild warning, it's a cardiovascular emergency. After a checkup, Emma adjusted her nutrition, added essential minerals, prioritized quality sleep, and cut back on ultra-processed foods. She also began walking gently, refusing to let her body be drained dry again. Sometimes, weakness doesn't mean you need more rest, it means your heart is fighting to keep you alive. And the sooner you recognize that, the better your chance of turning things around. Number 5. Skin rashes or unusual spots, a warning from the cardiovascular system. Emma never paid much attention to her skin. But one morning, she noticed a faint red patch spreading around her eyes while applying makeup. It didn't hurt or itch, it just felt unusual. She brushed it off as a mild allergic reaction. But a few days later, that patch turned yellowish. Then another bruise appeared on her upper arm, though she hadn't bumped into anything. Not all rashes are skin deep. When you notice persistent redness, unexplained bruises, or discoloration around the eyes, your skin may warn you about deeper circulatory or cardiovascular issues. Emma was soon diagnosed with mild dyslipidemia, micronutrient deficiencies, and poor peripheral circulation. Fortunately, her skin symptoms helped uncover hidden problems in her blood vessels before they escalated. Chronic inflammatory conditions like lupus, psoriasis, or scleroderma can accelerate atherosclerosis. Poor circulation and lipid disorders reduce oxygen delivery to the skin, leading to slow healing wounds, easy bruising, and even xanthelasma, cholesterol deposits that appear as yellowish patches around the eyes. Emma eats leafy greens and omega-3s, stays physically active, and has regular health checkups. Your skin isn't just for beauty. It's one of the most delicate mirrors reflecting the actual state of your heart. Paying attention to it might save your life. Number 6. Nausea or indigestion, when the stomach speaks for the heart. It's probably just lunch eaten too quickly. Emma told herself as she felt gnawing discomfort in her upper abdomen. But what worried her was that there had been no unusual food. No signs of food poisoning or stomach flu, and yet the nausea returned every afternoon without any clear pattern. Many people dismiss nausea or bloating as simple digestive issues. But in many cases, these symptoms can be early signs of heart trouble, especially in women over 50 or those with a history of cardiovascular disease. Some heart attacks don't begin with chest pain. Instead, they appear as persistent indigestion, unexplained nausea, or a heavy, tight feeling in the upper abdomen. When the heart doesn't pump enough blood to the digestive system, absorption slows down, and the stomach sends distress signals. Additionally, irritation of the vagus nerve, a direct line between the heart and gut, can cause nausea, palpitations, and cold sweats, often accompanied by a vague feeling of unease or anxiety. Emma went in for a checkup, and tests revealed she was in an early pre-arrhythmic stage, not yet serious, but enough to serve as a warning. Thanks to early detection, she changed her habits, getting more rest, eating regularly, and, most importantly, learning to listen to her body more closely. The heart doesn't always hurt when it's in trouble. Sometimes, it just quietly whispers through the stomach. Number 7. Persistent hoarseness. A quiet warning from the heart. Something about Emma's voice had changed. She first noticed it during a Zoom meeting when a colleague asked, "Are you catching a cold?" But she wasn't sick. No sore throat, no fever, no cough, just a deeper, hoarser voice, as if something were lightly pressing against her vocal cords. And it had been going on for nearly 3 weeks. Hoarseness is often blamed on colds, allergies, or voice overuse, but it could be a subtle warning from the cardiovascular system when it lingers without reason. When the heart weakens, or fluid builds up, it can accumulate around the lungs, placing pressure on the vocal cords. This can lead to hoarseness, a tight throat, persistent coughing, or mild difficulty swallowing. Additionally, certain cardiovascular conditions, like an aortic aneurysm or pulmonary hypertension, can press on the recurrent laryngeal nerve, which loops around the heart and controls the voice box. This pressure can alter the tone of your voice, often without causing pain. After reading an article about the link between voice changes and heart health, Emma decided to get her heart checked. The diagnosis: mild fluid retention. Not yet dangerous, but enough to take action. Not every warning comes with pain. Sometimes, it echoes in your voice every morning you wake up. Listen closely. Please don't ignore it. Number 8. Fainting. An emergency signal you should never ignore. Everything went blurry for a few seconds. When Emma opened her eyes, she found herself lying on the kitchen floor, no heavy impact, no bleeding. But what scared her the most was that she couldn't remember the moment she collapsed. A brief fainting episode can often be the first urgent knock from the heart. Fainting occurs when the brain receives too little blood flow, leading to a sudden loss of consciousness and quick recovery. Many people mistake it for simple fatigue or lack of sleep. Still, in reality, it can stem from serious cardiovascular issues like arrhythmias, sudden drops in blood pressure, or aortic valve stenosis, conditions that don't wait to be noticed before causing damage. In Emma's case, doctors detected a brief episode of ventricular arrhythmia, triggered at the exact moment she stood up quickly after not eating for several hours. These seemingly mild factors, when combined, were enough to destabilize her circulation. Fainting becomes even more serious when paired with rapid, pounding heartbeat, brief chest pain, shortness of breath, prolonged dizziness after regaining consciousness. Prevention starts with not dismissing that first fainting spell. Keep your blood pressure stable. Avoid sudden posture changes. Eat regularly. Get enough sleep. And never stop listening to your body. Because your heart shouldn't need a second blackout to tell you something is wrong. Number 9. Persistent anxiety. The heart can't stay silent forever. There are nights when you can't sleep, not because of noise, Not because of light, but because your heart races so fast it forces you to sit up. There's no pain, no apparent reason, just a quiet, constant sense of unease. Emma had nights like that. At first, she thought it was just work stress. But as it continued and her sleep became more and more fragmented, she began to wonder, is my heart struggling with something I can't see? Chronic anxiety isn't just a feeling, it's a silent strain on your cardiovascular system. Under constant stress, the body releases cortisol and adrenaline, causing the heart to beat faster, blood pressure to rise, and blood vessels to constrict. Over time, this can lead to vascular inflammation, arrhythmias, and even an increased risk of heart attack or stroke, even in young, seemingly healthy individuals. Prolonged anxiety also disrupts deep sleep, lowers the body's capacity to recover, and dulls the internal alarms meant to alert you when something's wrong. Emma learned to slow down and listen. She began morning meditation, took gentle walks in the evening, and turned off her phone before bed. She wasn't treating her heart, she was giving it the condition not to fight alone. If you feel tired even while doing nothing, breathe fast while sitting still, and can't seem to rest no matter how hard you try, it's not just stress. It could be your heart knocking on the door. We've uncovered the silent but dangerous signs that may be your heart's way of crying for help. But don't worry, because your body also knows how to tell you when your heart is firm, resilient, and working at its best. So, what are the clear signs that your heart is truly healthy? Let's find out, right now. Number 1. A steady resting heart rate, a sign of a strong, efficient heart. Before getting out of bed each morning, Emma gently placed 2 fingers on her left wrist. She wasn't looking for a number, she was listening for something more profound, stability. And it was there, calm, steady, unhurried. A healthy heart doesn't need to beat loudly to prove its strength. It simply chooses to beat just enough. Your resting heart rate, the number of heartbeats per minute while your body is entirely at rest, is one of the most straightforward yet most powerful indicators of cardiovascular health. For a healthy adult, it typically ranges from 60 to 100 beats per minute. It may be even lower for those who exercise regularly, a sign of a strong, resilient heart muscle and efficient blood circulation. According to the American Heart Association, AHA, a lower, more stable resting heart rate is linked to a reduced risk of stroke, heart attack, and early mortality. A study published in Heart Rhythm, 2013, found that for every 10 BPM increase in resting heart rate, the risk of death from heart disease rose by 16%. You don't need fancy equipment to check. Each morning, while lying in bed, take a moment to count your pulse for 60 seconds and observe gently. If your heart beats steadily, without palpitations or urgency, that's more than just good news. It's a quiet message from your heart. I'm doing my job well. Number 2. Stable blood pressure, the first line of defense for your heart. Emma no longer checked her blood pressure out of fear. She did it as part of her daily rhythm, like sipping water in the morning or opening the curtains to greet the sun. To her, a healthy reading on that little screen wasn't just normal, it was a quiet affirmation that her body was still in balance. You don't need to wait for blood pressure to spike or plummet to start paying attention. Steady, consistent readings, hovering around 120/80ths of a millimeter of mercury, signal an adequately protected heart. Emma once read a significant study in The Lancet analyzing over 1 million adults. One finding stayed with her. Those with elevated blood pressure in midlife had twice the risk of cardiovascular death compared to those with stable levels. Even in younger people with no symptoms, daily fluctuations can act like tiny cracks silently forming in the walls of their blood vessels. Emma didn't follow a strict regimen. She cut back on salt, ate more potassium-rich vegetables like spinach and bananas, took daily walks, and went to bed earlier. This sense of balance, not flashy or extreme, became the foundation of her steady blood pressure over the years. There's no loud alarm, just a quiet, consistent number. But sometimes, those silent signals form the strongest fortress around your heart daily. Number 3. Quick recovery after exercise. Measuring your heart's true resilience. Every afternoon, Emma enjoyed a brisk walk, not to burn calories or count steps, but to listen to how her body responded afterward. How quickly did her heart rate return to normal? And she knew, in that moment of stillness, lay an essential story about her health that even her smartwatch couldn't fully tell. A healthy heart isn't one that never beats fast. It's a heart that knows when to accelerate and, more importantly, when to slow down. Recovery rate. The speed at which your heart returns to its resting rhythm after physical activity is a powerful reflection of cardiovascular flexibility and autonomic nervous system balance. Emma once read in the New England Journal of Medicine that, if your heart rate drops by less than 12 beats per minute in the first minute after exercise, your risk of cardiovascular death could be twice as high. Now, she does a simple self-test, a 3-minute fast-paced walk, followed by measuring her heart rate. Then, she rests for 1 minute and checks again. If her heart rate drops by over 20 beats, she knows her heart is recovering well, strong, responsive, and adaptable, both in motion and at rest. Your recovery rate is a mirror of your actual biological age. Not the number on your ID but the age of your vitality, and how well your heart is still showing up for you every day. Thank you for joining Emma and Fresh Fuel Guide all the way to the end of this video. If you found this content helpful, feel free to share it with friends and loved ones who care about health and nutrition. Have any questions? Want to dive deeper into a specific topic? Leave a comment below. We're always here to listen and respond. And don't forget to hit subscribe and tap the notification bell icon so you never miss the latest science-backed updates on nutrition and health every week. Fresh Fuel Guide, fueling your life with clean energy for a healthier, happier you every day.